It was a perfect day for a ride, he thought. He glanced at his watch and he knew it was time to go. He climbed on and rode down the street, and as he turned his head, he caught a glimpse of a woman standing at the corner. They shared a look, but before he could say or think anything else, he'd lost his vision. Everything had happened too fast. I feel fine, he thought to himself. Besides the salty taste of blood in his mouth, he felt aware of his surroundings. Face up, he was carried to the ambulance. When he awoke, he found himself on the hospital bed. He could barely make out the figure of the nurse who was looming over him, and as he tried to remain awake, he began to drift into a deep slumber that numbed his entire body. He could no longer remain awake, and slowly, he drifted back into the dream. He woke up in a foreign place, where the smell of the swamp and the feel of the heat created a heavy atmosphere. The Aztecs were on the prowl. That was his only thought. He could sense they were near. He could smell them. Run was all he could think. Run for your life. He tried to wake himself from the dream, but his sleep was far too heavy. He found himself back in that world of hunters, where he was the prey. Run was all he could think. But they drew near. As he fell on the ground, he couldn't help the feeling of terror seep through his entire body. Wake up, he told himself. Wake up from this nightmare. But his slumber was far too deep. He found himself back in the swamps when he began to realize it had all been a dream. A dream where he'd been riding on strange machines, surrounded by magnificent buildings. And the girl, they were all found in a different time, somewhere in a distant world, far from this one. And as he was hunted by the Aztecs, all he could smell was a swamp, and all he could taste was a blood in his mouth. Face up, they carried him, on the path to the altar, where he would never wake up again.